Conservative New Media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal. I've got an incredible science story here to tell you about, and it concerns the planet Mercury in our solar system. Apparently, we've just discovered, scientists have discovered ice, that is water that is formed in ice, on the surface of Mercury. I'm going to get into that in a bit. What I'm showing you here is the probe Messenger that was launched from Earth, and what you can see here is it's showing the different orbits and how it sort of over the years got there, and in passing through and flying by Venus and the other planets and getting there. Now here is an animation kind of recreating getting into orbit around Mercury. Absolutely fascinating. You can see here, you see all the craters on the surface. We're going to go into that in more detail here in a bit. As you can see, the probe's got a number of, it's got solar panels, it's got a number of scientific instruments on it, laser, some other stuff in there. Mercury is the closest planet in our solar system to the Sun. In terms of how close it is to the Sun, it actually varies a good bit because of the orbit that it has, the shape of the orbit it has around the Sun. It can get as close as about 28.5 million miles from the Sun, all the way out to, closer to a little over 43 million miles away from the Sun. Compare that to the Earth, and we're like, if I'm remembering correctly, something like around 93 million miles. I might have that a little bit off. So, we're quite a distance away. Therefore, the surface temperature of Mercury can get, if you're near the equator and where the sun's hitting during the day, it can get like something, something extreme, like about 800, I think about 800 degrees. So very, very hot. Although, it should be noted that, that the temperature actually can get down to, like negative 279 if you're talking about at night in the polar region, stuff like that. So that's very interesting. Now, the other thing to think about is that in terms of that Mercury doesn't operate the same way that our days operate. In other words, a day here on Earth is 24 hours, whereas a comparative day or rotation of the planet on Mercury is almost 59 of Earth days. So therefore, you can have a section of the planet Mercury that's not exposed to the sun for quite a long time. Now here is a colorized image of the surface. Now you can see right here how there's just a number of craters and stuff like that. That's because Mercury has basically, very, very little atmosphere. So therefore, it gets hit with, objects from space, meteorites, and the like. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What I'm showing you here is an image of the polar region of Mercury, but it's been modified to show you some stuff. I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, the red section, first of all, this is all my personal opinion, only knowledge, ain't facts, not casting spurs, only for entertainment purposes only. Please check disclaimers. If I'm remembering this correctly, the red sections are where there's sort of I believe, a permanent shadow. The yellow sections are where there's believed to be ice. And there is a tremendous amount of this. I think the estimate that if I remember in this article I read correctly, was something between 100 billion tons up to 1 trillion tons, which is absolutely incredible. Now, think about this. The scientists have found organic material and obviously frozen water, meaning ice. So that is wild. Now, the thinking is that this may have come from the meteorites and or comets hitting the surface. So think about that and the implications there. I mean, what kind of organic material are we talking about? Are we talking about carbon material? Are we talking about, other kind of materials? Is it even remotely possible that there could be some kind of life forms on Mercury? I mean, I just did a story, report and commentary about these bacteria that are living in Lake Vida in Antarctica, where it's unbelievably cold here, and there's I think they were surviving with no oxygen, and they were surviving with no sunlight, and and cold temperatures, etc., etc. So who knows? I mean, who knows what could be happening there? If there's ice there, if there's organic material there, we don't know. We don't know. So that's something that's certainly interesting. One of the articles that I read, there was even discussion about, hey, maybe in the future it could be possible to colonize Mercury. Now certainly, around the equator and the sun side, where it's extremely hot, it may be possible to station somewhere, obviously away from the equator, where it's a bit cooler, but not quite in the super cold regions of Mercury, or to build some kind of underground base or whatnot like that. But we're learning more about this planet Mercury here. I think it's absolutely fascinating. But what do you think about that? Do you think that it's even possible that there could be alien life forms on Mercury? Maybe some kind of microbes, maybe some kind of small obviously living organic matter there. And what about this other organic matter? I mean, who knows? There have been theories about comets, bringing organic material and colonizing life on other planets. What's your take on that? Do you feel like there could be life on Mercury, alien life on Mercury? That's one thing. The second thing is, what about this discovery of, ice, water ice on Mercury? What kind of implications do you think that has? And what do we, also, what's your speculation as to what this organic material might be? And the third thing is, would you want to, if they did colonize Mercury, would you want to go there? Would you want to visit it? I think I read something where it said if you were on Mercury, the sun would look like 3 times the size that it looks here. So it'd be a very interesting and wild situation, But I love this science. I think that what they're doing here with this messenger probe is very interesting. I want to follow it. I want to check it out. I actually put up a video of the planet Mercury, obviously shot here from Earth, and that I caught on the horizon, and try to get some good close-up stuff like that. So you can check that out. It's tough to catch because you have to catch it either at I believe either at dawn or twilight because of its proximity to the sun. It's harder to see. But I love this stuff. I love the science stuff. I love the space stuff. No question about it. You tell me where you're at on this. I think this is fascinating. You tell me how you feel about it. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe above. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion and the super genius. You're watching Conservative New Media. Please rate this video up. Also, please post it to your social networking sites. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.